This conference will now be recorded.
Before starting or saying anything, I want to wish all of you a very happy and a prosperous Eid. A very happy Eid and Eid Saeed to all of you from Teach You Academy team. We all hope and wish you that you are able to achieve all the success of the world. And now let's begin our session. So when we usually have research at Teach You Academy, and we ponder over the facts as to what sections of English grammar are very, very important and significant when it comes to OET examinations. Now, all of us know that OET examinations comprises of 4 parts, that is reading, listening, speaking, and writing. And all these 4 parts of the OET or of the OET examination majorly depends upon your subject knowledge, your medical professional knowledge, and before that, it also depends majorly upon the usage of English grammar and the language English itself. So when we were carrying out a research on our platform Teach You Academy, we found that some things are very new and some things are very, very significant when it comes to write an OET examination. And those things are the punctuation marks, grammatical tenses, connectors, the active and the passive voices, the direct and the indirect speech when it comes to speaking, and many more to come. At Teach You Academy, I mean at this platform, we would be taking and covering all the aspects of English grammar gradually, turn by turn. As you know, in Teach You Academy, each session comprises of 2 parts. The first part is taken by Dr. Bhavna, in which we are very, very obliged to her that she gives us her valuable time and explains us the medical intricacies of the OET examination, followed by my session, wherein I try to elaborate the grammatical aspects of the OET writing. So today, we would exclusively be discussing the role of the present tense in OET writing. Today's session is going to be a very, very interactive session. What we are going to do today is that we will show you a sample case note, and I will ask you to write your answers one by one in the chat window. First of all, I would request all of you to write the first body part of the letter, that is the address, the doctor to whom you're writing, the name of the patient, and other things. Then I will ask you to write the first paragraph in which the introductory aspect of the patient and his or her details are given. So thereon, we will come to the second, the third, and the fourth, and the concluding paragraph of OET writing. In this session, we would try our best that you understand completely as to how an OET letter is written. So let's begin our session. See, ladies and gentlemen, doctors and nurses out there, whenever we are given an OET writing task, there are certain things that we have to follow. First of all, the first 5 minutes are given to read the task properly. So you just take your time. Just take your time properly. Make the best usage of your time. Later, just understand the situation. Understand the portfolio of the letter. Try to understand the ambience, the surrounding. Try to know as to whom you are going to write. Try to understand your role and try to understand your patient and the disease of your patient. First of all, you have to understand as to what role do you play. Do you play the role of a nurse or a doctor? Even if you are a nurse or a doctor, do not miss this session, because OET letter writing comes in the same color for both the nurses and the doctors as well. So you have to understand your role, because the writing criteria remains the same. You understand your role, understand the role of your reader. Try to understand the role of your reader. Try to be into the skin of the reader. Try to be in the body of the person who is going to read your letter. So there are two major things. Try to understand your role and try to understand the skin of the person to whom you are writing. Then the urgency of the case is also necessary. The urgency of the case is signified in the first paragraph. The level of the urgency of your writing the letter would be shown in the first paragraph. So the first paragraph of the letter plays the most significant part of this letter. The person who is going to check or analyze your letter would only rely on the first paragraph 60% of the time. 60% of the time. The remaining 40% weightage would be given to the rest of the letter. Major 60% of your task fulfillment is being shown in your first paragraph. In the first paragraph, the urgency, your role, and the role of your reader is clearly defined. Try to put all the necessary information. Try to avoid unnecessary information. Use the names and the addresses given in the case note. Do not use anything else, kindly. And do not chunks from the case note. Do not just copy the case note as it is in your letter. And do not include everything, as I told you earlier. Try to include the necessary part and try to exclude the unnecessary information. With this, what you can do is that you can take some writing tool with you in the examination and just point out certain things. Of course, there is a time when you are not allowed to touch your pen or pencil or a marker, but in the later section, just try to point out the necessary information, make a tick mark against it, and try to include all those ticked information into your letter. This way you would be able to save your time. Kindly use your own words. Kindly try to make the maximum use of connectors. I took a class of connectors in the last 3 terms. I have taken the class of connectors in my previously 3 classes. You can take help from those. Try to use conjunctions, punctuation marks, and connectors. Try to incorporate your own words while writing. Of course, there are some words that cannot be replaced. For example, wheelchair or diabetes or blood reports. These are certain words that, of course, you cannot replace. But there are certain words that you can replace. In my first session, I told you that when I was in class 5, a teacher of mine let me know the technique of coda. He told me that whenever you write something, follow the technique of coda. Now, what is this coda? Let's see. C comes for compose your ideas. Try to compose your ideas in your brain. When you're writing your case note, simultaneously you compose your idea. Because sometimes at a moment of time, a very good idea comes to your brain, and if you do not remember it, or if you do not learn it by heart, you'll forget it very soon. So compose your idea. Next, organize your idea. Try to put the necessary information chronologically. In chronology, in the order of urgency. Try to organize your letter in order of urgency. The most urgent part of the letter comes in the first paragraph. In the first paragraph. So just try to organize your letter. Paragraph by paragraph. The first paragraph, the second paragraph, the third paragraph, and so on. So this way you organize your ideas. Then draft your idea, make a rough draft. Do not just put everything directly into the fair copy. Try to make a rough draft in your brain or somewhere else space given in your paper. After that, edit. If necessary, you edit your draft. If you find that some good word could be used, use it. Make use of it. Take full time. Make utilization of your time given during the OET writing section. Later, you revise your idea as to whether you have committed some mistake while writing or not. So revise your idea, and this is how we have our coder. So coder stands for compose, organize, draft, edit, and revise. Now, the purpose of the letter, which comes in the first paragraph, is very, very, very significant. You must be wondering that Manoj sir has been talking about the first paragraph since the moment I began this session. I'm telling you this because I know that the first paragraph of the letter plays the most influential role of your complete letter. So throughout this session, I would be using this word, these two words, first paragraph, first paragraph, first paragraph, because all your efficiency, all of your effectiveness of your entire letter arrives in the first paragraph. So the first paragraph signifies the purpose of your writing. In the first paragraph, this first paragraph comprises of only 2 or 3 lines. But these 2 or 3 lines in your first paragraph gives a complete clarity of the letter. It comprises of your detail, your patient's detail, the person you are writing, his details, and the urgency of the case. So 4 things are given in the first paragraph, and this first paragraph would hardly comprise of 2 or 3 lines at a maximum, and it will give you 4 pieces of information. What are those 4 pieces of information? Your role, your reader's role, your patient, and the urgency of the case. I hope you're getting me. The purpose of the letter should be immediately identifiable in your first paragraph. For example, we have taken a sample example. Kindly read it on your screens. This is the first paragraph of a letter. It's just a rough text that has been taken from our Teach-You Academy's academic library. So you can see it over here. Please read. A doctor is writing to another doctor in this first paragraph about his patient, Mr. Jeff. What does he say? He say that thank you, doctor, for seeing Mr. Jeff, a patient at this practice who presented today complaining of sore eyes and worsening vision. I am concerned that he has been experiencing symptoms consistent with type 2 diabetes. Now, in this first paragraph, I have written 2 words in bold letters. The first word is practice. It's because it is a noun. Had I used Practise, it would have been a verb. So you have to take care of the noun and the verb. There are certain words that act both as nouns and verbs with the difference of C and S. For example, practice. When we use C with practice, it is a noun. When we use S with practice, it is a verb. Similarly, in advice, if I say advice, it is a verb. And if I use advice, it is a noun. So please be very vigilant when you write these type of words. So in this first paragraph, the urgency of the case, the purpose of the case is fully shown. And what does the doctor want to signify? The doctor is saying that thank you for seeing my patient, Mr. Jeff, who is a patient at this practice. And Mr. Jeff complained of sore eyes and worsening vision. And I am concerned that if he is suffering from type 2 diabetes. In the second paragraph, an extension of the first paragraph is shown. The past history of the patient is being shown here. So in today's session, we are going to exercise, we are going to learn the present tense. And why are we going to learn the present tense? We are going to learn the present tense because the first paragraph would completely rely upon the present tense. I repeat once again, ladies and gentlemen, the first paragraph of your OET letter would make use of only the present tense. And the first paragraph of any OET letter is one of the most influential parts of the entire body of the letter. And if it is comprising of present tense, then we must have a proper and a good knowledge of the present tense. In the second paragraph of the letter, the past tense is made use of. So we will learn the past tense in our next session. In today's session, we would learn about the present tense. Let's see once again. The layout of your letter should look somewhat like this. You should be able to paraphrase your letter. Try to construct, try to formulate the body of your letter into paragraphs. And you must know as to which paragraph should come before another. It will depend upon the urgency of the case. The most urgent part, the most urgent paragraph of the letter is the first paragraph. And this is why the first paragraph is the first paragraph in the entire letter. The second paragraph is of the lesser efficiency with respect to the first paragraph. So it comes in the second place. So you should be able to paraphrase your letter in a manner so as to urgency of your act of writing this letter would be able to give a clear meaning. And you should be vigilant about the body of the letter. We will let you know as to what a good body of a letter should look like. For example, these are some consecutive paragraphs. The third paragraph, same letter. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you once again the screen of our first paragraph. In this case, the first paragraph and second paragraph of a patient is given. Please read it. The first paragraph is in the present tense. The second paragraph is in the past tense, has had. The tests showed. And followed by the third paragraph and the fourth paragraph. The third paragraph is not of that importance in comparison to the first and the second paragraph. So the hobbies, the BMI, the body mass index, the exercise and management programs, and other things that are of lesser importance. Ladies and gentlemen, with lesser importance, I do not mean that you leave those pieces of information. With less importance, I do not tend to say that it has no importance. Of course, it has importance, but it is of a lesser importance than the first and the second paragraph. So all these things that is the hobbies, the body mass index, and other things are mentioned in the third paragraph. And in the final paragraph of the letter, our request is being made politely. and the letter is concluded. So do you see how simple letter writing is? OET letter writing is the easiest section of OET examination. I once again lay emphasis upon my words. Please be all ears. Listen carefully what I'm going to say. OET writing section, letter writing in OET is the easiest task in the entire OET examination. How is it easiest? Because we know how to write it. The mentioning part, the first paragraph, second paragraph, third paragraph, and the concluding paragraph. That's all. That's all you have to do. Does it require any endeavor and effort from your side? No. But you should be able to have a knowledge as to how an OET letter is written. And we at Teach You Academy are here to help you. So why worry? So these are the most critical parts of OET letter writing: the tense, connectors, subject verb agreement, and punctuations. We have taken connectors and punctuations in our previous sections. Today we are going to take the present tense. Now let's take the present tense. Okay, what do we understand by the word present? Can you write me a letter in your text box as to what do you understand by present? Please write me. What do you understand by the word present? Write your answers in the chat window. Yes, so all of you have given very nice answers. Current situation is the most frequent of your answers. Recent, not recent, but current. So by the word present, we mean current, something that is happening right now, current situation. So there are 4 types of the present tense. The first one is the simple present tense. The second is the present perfect. Third one is present continuous, and the fourth one is the present perfect continuous. So ladies and gentlemen, now how do we know as to whether a tense is a simple present, a present continuous, a present perfect continuous, or a present perfect tense, or a present simple tense? How? So I have devised a technique through which you would be able to identify immediately as to what tense it is. So if you see the first form of a verb in a sentence, immediately identify the tense as the present simple tense. I repeat once again. If you see the first form of the verb, then it is simple present tense. For example, I run. Now run is the first form of the verb. I run is the present simple tense. You eat, you learn, you walk, I go to school. All these are present simple tense. The first form of the verb. Listen once again. You walk. Walk is the first form. You eat. Eat is the first form. I go to school. Go is the first form. So whenever you see the first form of a verb, immediately identify the tense as the simple present tense. So once again I'm repeating, if you see the first form of the verb, it is the simple present tense. Now let's come to the present perfect tense. If in a sentence, if in any sentence of the world you see has, have, and the second form of the verb, then it is the present perfect tense. I repeat once again. Suppose a sentence is given to you and you find has or have and the second form of the verb. Then immediately identify the sentence as in being the present perfect tense. I give you certain examples. I have done my work. I have done my work. Have and done. Done is the second form of the verb. Another example. She has eaten her food. She has eaten her food. Now, what do you see? Has and eaten. Has and eaten. I'm writing in your chat windows the answers. I'm writing in your chat windows. She has eaten her food. So she has, of course, all of you are correct. The third form of the verb. Has, have, and the third form of the verb. Now I am going to write some sentences in your chat window. Try to identify. I have written a sentence in your chat windows. Can you identify the tense? It is the present perfect tense. How? I'm writing it here. Has plus third form. Has plus third form. So did you see? The teacher has taught the lesson. Has. The teacher has taught the lesson. The boys have played the match. The bird has sung a beautiful song. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in all these three sentences, what are we seeing? We see has, we see have, we see has, and along with has and have, we are also seeing the third form of the verb. The third form of the verb. We are able to see the third form of the verb. Please see here, sung. Sung is the third form of, I'm writing in your sing, sang, and sung. So these are the three forms of sing. The first form is sing. The second form is sang. I sang a song. And the third form is sung. Now see here. I have written three forms of this verb. I sing a song, I sang a song, I have sung a song. So can you identify? The first sentence is, kindly write in your chat windows. The first sentence is which tense? Which tense is the first sentence? Present simple. The second sentence, this is present simple. This is past simple. And this is present perfect. So I hope with these three sentences, you would have completely understood the difference between past perfect, past simple. If you have any confusion, let me know in the chat window kindly. Yes. So let's repeat our rule. The first rule was first form of the verb, it is simple present tense. First form of verb, simple present tense. If you see has, have, and the third form of the verb, it is present perfect tense. Repeat once again. If you see has or have and the third form of the verb, then it is present perfect tense. Now let's come to present continuous. If something is currently happening, then it is present continuous tense. For example, I am teaching, she is playing, they are working. So there are three things that are there. What? Is, am, are plus the ing form of verb. Is, am, are plus the ing form of verb. And lastly, we have the present perfect continuous tense. And how do we know if a tense is a present perfect continuous tense? If something started in the past, something began in the past, and it is happening currently, it is ongoing. Something started in the past and still it is happening. I repeat once again, something started in the past and it is currently also happening, taking place, then it is the present perfect continuous. It is the present perfect continuous. For example, it has been raining since morning. I repeat once again, it has been raining since morning. So when did it start raining? When did it start raining? In the past. When? In the morning. It started raining in the morning and still it's raining. So we are writing, it has been raining since morning. So how do we recognize if a sentence is in the present perfect continuous? Has, have, been plus ing. So these are the three or four rules of understanding a tense, especially the present tense. I repeat once again. If you see the first form of verb, the first form of the verb, it is simple present. Third form of verb plus has, have. Third form of verb plus has, have, then it is present perfect. And has, have plus been plus ing, then it is the present perfect continuous. Now we'll practice some exercises. Okay, so the exercise time has begun now. You have to write your answers in the chat window. I am giving you some sentences. Kindly write your answers in the chat window. So this is the first sentence. Please write your answer in the chat window. Yes, present continuous. All of you have given the right answers. It is present continuous tense. The teacher is teaching. She is teaching her students. So something is happening. So it is a continuous activity, ongoing activity. So this is the present continuous tense. The second sentence, write your answers. We have been waiting for them. Present perfect continuous. Yes, present perfect continuous. Present perfect continuous. All of you are giving right answers. Very nice. So in the second sentence, we have been waiting for them. This means that somebody is waiting for someone else and started waiting in the past. Started waiting in the past and still is waiting. Still, the person is waiting. The person started waiting in the past and still the person is waiting. So this is why it is a present perfect continuous. Perfect means in the past and continuous. So something happened, something started in the past and it is going on continuously. It is going on continuously. So this is the present perfect continuous tense. Now the third sentence, he eats with his left hand. Which tense is this? He eats with his left hand. Which tense is this? Simple present. Very nice. Namish, Sahila, Salva, Dalphin, Liza, Minaz, Zubi. All of you are giving right answers. Charlotte, Tabua, all of you are giving right answers. Very nice. This is simple present tense. Let's see another sentence. They have been repairing the roof since morning. They have been repairing the roof since morning. Which tense is this? Everybody write the answer, please. Please, everybody try to write the answer. This is present perfect continuous tense. Now, why is this present perfect continuous? It is present perfect continuous because somebody started repairing the roof in the past, in the morning. So somebody started repairing the roof in the morning and still He is repairing the roof. Still he is repairing the roof. Started in the past and still going on. Very nice, Salma. Very nice, Liza. Dr. Atul, very nice. Zubi, very nice. Everybody are giving correct answers. So this is the present perfect continuous tense. Let's see the fifth sentence. We have learned our lessons. We have learned our lessons. What do you see? Have and the third form. So which tense is this? Present perfect. Present perfect. PP. Yes, it's present perfect. Very nice, all of you. It is present perfect. Very nice. You can write your answers in short also. For example, if a tense is present simple, write PS. If it is present perfect continuous, write PPC. This way we will be able to be more interactive. So this is the present perfect tense. Very nice, Salma, Tabua, Zubi, Dalvin. Very nice, all of you. Let's see the sixth sentence. He has had his breakfast. He has had his breakfast. Now, which tense is this? Present perfect. Present perfect. Very nice. It is present perfect tense. Now, in this sentence, this had is used for eaten. And eaten is the third form. Everybody look in your chat windows. I'm writing something. Eat, ate, eaten. These are the three forms of eat. The first form is eat, then ate, and eaten. So in this sentence, we have has plus third form. That is has plus eaten. This had is equal to eaten. Here had means eaten. So this is the present perfect tense. Let's see another sentence. James has visited the doctor today. Which tense is this? What do you see here? You see has plus third form. Has plus visited. PP, the present perfect tense. Very nice. It's the present perfect tense. Let's see another sentence. The sun rises in the east. What do you see here? Present simple. Others, simple present. Very nice, all of you. It is the simple present tense. Now the ninth. I have drank water. Now, ladies and gentlemen, try to catch. No, don't reply me. Find the mistake in this sentence. Is this sentence correct? Reply to me. Is this sentence correct? I have drank water. Aishwarya says no. Liza says drunk. Drunk. Yes. This is what I was trying to emphasize over here, that some people say the second form of the verb, it's not the second form of the verb, it's the third form of the verb. Drunk. I have drunk water. Drunk. Yes. And which tense is this? Which tense is this? It is the present perfect tense. Very nice. This means all of you are trying to understand. Very nice. I'm very happy for all of you. Another sentence. We are waiting for them. Which tense is this? Is it present perfect continuous? It's present continuous. Yes, very nice, all of you. It is the present continuous tense. Another one. She has lived here all her life. Which tense is this? PP. Yes. Yes. Everybody try to participate in the exercise. There are very few people who are participating. Everybody please try to participate. It is the present perfect tense. Very nice. The next sentence, they have written 3 letters already. They have written 3 letters already. Present perfect. Yes. Very nice. Present perfect. Sahila, Aishwarya, Nemish, Charlotte, Tabua. Very nice. All of you, very nice. She works at a factory. Which tense is this? She works at a factory. Simple present. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, it does not require much effort to type something in your chat windows. So everybody please participate in this exercise. It does not require much of an effort to write something in your chat windows. So everybody please try to participate in the exercise. We have a major exercise in the end of the session also. So please try to develop a habit of answering. We have been to Canada. We have been to Canada. Which tense is this? We have been to Canada. You see has, have, and the third form of be. I'm writing here. I'm writing here. Be, being, been. The present perfect. ST, this is not the present perfect continuous. It is the present perfect tense. Do you see ing here? No. Then how could it be the present perfect continuous tense? It is the present perfect tense. And the last sentence, we have been learning our lessons for last 2 hours. It is the present perfect continuous tense. Very nice. Now I'm going to show you a case note. Everybody please try to participate. Now we are going to show you case note. Okay, all of you now, I'm presenting a case note to all of you. Please read the case note. And now you have to write the first paragraph. All of you have to participate. Are you able to read the text on your screens? If you are having some problem, let us know. Are all of you able to read the case note on your screens? If you are having some problem, let us know, please. Not visible. Okay. Is it visible now? So read this case note. There is a patient whose name is Miss June Fortune. She is 46 years of age and she is a divorcee. She first visited on 14th of June 2015 and she was discharged 5 days later that is on 19 June 2015. The diagnosis of Miss June showed that she has thyrotoxicosis with atrial fibrillation. Her medical history showed hyperthyroidism. She was diagnosed with thyrotoxicosis. Her family history, family background, everything is given. The diagnosis is also given. Please read the case note. The case note is in front of you. Now what all of you have to do is that write me the first part of the letter. That first, what you have to write is write the name of the doctor, the address of the doctor, reference, okay, Liza. Liza has given me an answer. Very good, Liza, very good. All of you also participate. Just give me the introductory part of the letter. No, Aishwarya, do not give me the first paragraph. Just write me the address. The address you will write in your letter, just write that to me. Only for what Liza has written, exactly like that. Please, everyone try to give your answers. Nemish, write the name of the doctor, the address, date, reference, name of the patient. 2 is not written, Tabua. 2 is not written. What are all of you doing? What are all of you doing? Only Liza has written the best answer. Mehnaz, okay. Mehnaz, you forgot to write the professional specification of Dr. Gerald Smith. Charlotte has given the best answer. Charlotte has given the best answer. Very good. Charlotte. Yes, Liza, very nice. Sahila. Very nice, Sahila. Very nice. See, all of you are giving the right answers. Then why are you worrying? Why are you worrying? Dr. Aradhna. Very nice, Dr. Aradhna. Delphine. Very good, Delphine. Very good. Very nice. Very nice. This is what I want you to write. This is how a good letter should begin with. Salma. Very nice, Salma. All of you have given the best answers. I'm writing the answer of Charlotte. This is what Charlotte wrote. Very nice. Now I'll show you as to how we have written. So this is how we have written, ladies and gentlemen. This is our answer. All of you have written correctly. This is how the perfect answer should look like. Please look at your screens. Dr. Gerald Smith, general practitioner, Fremont Surgery, London W1. Then the date of writing the letter is mentioned. Name, profession, address, city's name, date, and reference. Fine. All of you look at your screens and try to get the gist of a proper introductory address mentioning part of the letter. This is how it is written. So all of you are asking me that whether we should place a comma between fortune and aged. We will not place a comma. We make the least use of punctuation marks in reference. So we will not use a comma here in reference. Had it been in a paragraph, we would have used a comma. But in reference, we will not use a comma, Miss June Fortune, comma, aged 46 years. No, in reference, we won't do this. But in the consecutive paragraph, if something like this occurs, we'll write it. Now let's come to the case note once again and write me the first paragraph. Write me the first paragraph, everybody. See the case note and write me the first paragraph. Please write me the first paragraph. Please write me the first paragraph of the letter. Try practicing, ladies and gentlemen. So Liza, Ashwarya, and Mehnaz have given me answers. I'm reading your answers. Till then, all of you try to participate in this session. This is how you will understand. Fine, all of you have tried to list out the urgency of the case and the basic need of writing this letter. This is how our answer would look like. Kindly see. So this is how Dr. Bhavna has also taught you. Dear Dr. Smith, thank you. First of all, begin your letter with a thank you. The first paragraph should begin with a thank you. I am writing is also fine, but avoid using I in the beginning. You can use thank you also. I is not wrong. I am writing is not wrong, but thank you seems a more polite way of writing to somebody. Somebody is giving you time to read your letter. Nemish, very nice. Nemish has also given a wonderful answer. I'm writing the answer of Nemish in the chat window. This is what Nemish has written. Sahila has also written a very nice text. I'm also writing the answer of Sahila in your chat windows. This is what Sahila has written, and this is what we have written. Dear Dr. Smith, thank you for seeing misfortune. Throughout the letter, we will write misfortune. We will not write Miss June Fortune because we have written Miss June Fortune in the first part. Miss June Fortune. The full name is given in the first part of the letter. Later on, the surname would do the role, the specific role. So did you see? This is how we have written. This pleasant lady would need ongoing management of both her healthcare as well as social needs. Fine. So now all of you write me the third paragraph. Everybody try to write me the third paragraph. Everybody try to participate. Write me the third paragraph. Okay, this is how our answer looks like. Now, the past history of the patient is given. The past history of the patient will be given. Miss Fortune was admitted. Now, the history of Miss Fortune would be given, starting as to when was she admitted and what was the diagnosis. In the second paragraph, you have to write the date of the admission of the patient and the diagnosis made at that time. So, Miss Fortune was admitted to Queen Hospital on the 14th June 2015. And what was the diagnosis? What was she diagnosed with? With thyrotoxicosis on the background of her known hyperthyroidism. She was further diagnosed with new onset atrial fibrillation. She is on regular carbimazole, propranolol, and diazepam as required. There have been concerns regarding her compliance to carbimazole. Fine. Now this is how the fourth paragraph would look like. Now I told you everything should be in a hierarchy. In hierarchy of what? In hierarchy of urgency. So in the first paragraph, we wrote the most urgent purpose of the letter. In the second paragraph, we wrote as to when was she admitted, what was she diagnosed with. In the third paragraph, the socio-economic background of the patient would be mentioned. So this is what we have done here. I would also like to highlight this lady's social needs. Unfortunately, Miss Fortune has a very stressful job. Now see, some words are purposely used in letter writing, like pleasant woman. I'll show you over here. This pleasant lady, did you see? This pleasant lady. So this is how a letter is made beautiful. In the second paragraph, we have written, unfortunately, we are sympathetic with our patient. So we are purposely using these words. So unfortunately, Miss Fortune has a very stressful job. Subsequently, now this is a connector over here. Subsequently, she usually feels too tired after work and is unable to have any outside interests. She has no relatives or close friends. Her non-compliance to medications may be following her divorce. It was also noted that she has had an increase in alcohol use recently. Now this is what the fourth paragraph looks like. She is now being discharged today with a plan to continue her anti-thyroid medications in the community. She is to be referred to cognitive behavioral therapy in the community. She would also need her alcohol intake monitored with the option to be referred to drug and alcohol license by you. She will need encouragement, establishment of social activities. Finally, she would need a letter prepared to CBT therapy team in the community. And this is how we conclude our letter. I would again like to thank you. Now see, first we thank in the first paragraph, and now we are thanking again. So this shows the politeness, the kind-heartedness of a doctor. So you can take a read. You can find this case note and the answer if you request Teach You Academy. And this way you would be able to prepare well for your OET letter writing. So I told you that OET letter writing is the easiest task when it comes to taking an OET examination. So in this session, today, we learned about the use of the present tense. In the next session, we would elaborately read and learn about the past tense. Past tense often confuses students. Some people are not able to deal with the past tense that appropriately. So do not forget to arrive on this platform, Teach Your Academy, next Sunday on our next session, and we will be discussing past tense, and we would come up with again with a new case note and an answer, and I will request all of you to participate and write your answers in the chat window on the next session also. So here I would like to take a leave. Thank you very much. Rest to Teach Your Academy. Thank you for inviting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Manoj. A very helpful session, like always. Guys, a few things that I just wanted to point out. Nimish, you wrote in your sentence about this patient being a patient of thyrotoxicosis. So even though grammatically your sentence is fine, you're never a patient of thyrotoxicosis. Okay, so medically, if you think about it, you have an episode of thyrotoxicosis. So thyrotoxicosis is like diabetic ketoacidosis. You have it and then it stops. Okay, so the disease that you have is diabetes mellitus, and the episode that you have is diabetic ketoacidosis. Similarly, the disease that you have is hyperthyroidism, and the crisis that you have is thyrotoxicosis. So if you write that this patient is a patient of thyrotoxicosis, that is incorrect. Okay, what you have to write, this patient has hyperthyroidism and presented with an episode of thyrotoxicosis. So make sure that you don't write that. A patient of sounds quite it sounds quite morbid. I won't advise people to start out their letters by saying this is a patient of. The way that Mehnaz, this was very good. But Mehnaz, thanks for using my format. The only thing I would just like to point out, yes, Mr. Manoj was quite right that we should try and thank the doctor seeing this patient. So if you're writing, I'm writing this letter to inform you. Fortunately, she has recovered well. Thank you for your ongoing care. So just add like a sentence about thank you. Again, nothing's completely wrong or completely right. It just makes your letter sound better. But your grammar was really good in the sentence that you did, Mehna, so you should be fine. Otherwise, thanks again, guys, for joining us today. What we'll try and do. Okay, so Abdus has asked a question that do we have to put a full stop after Dr., Mrs. or Miss? That's fine to put a full stop, but if you don't put a full stop, that's also fine. Those are very minute grammar points which aren't really the emphasis on your OET writing, so both ways are okay. Ashwarya, we discussed this last time as well about the use of suffering. Okay, so the OET official OET guidelines say that you shouldn't really use the term suffering. Okay, because hyperthyroidism is quite a stable diagnosis. The treatment is available and it's usually quite well controlled. So instead of suffering, who has been diagnosed with hyperthyroidism might be a little better. And has had an episode of thyrotoxicosis is correct. So instead of suffering, just change that to has been diagnosed with. But again, guys, good job today. Some problems with tenses, but just go back to this lecture and just see the point on tenses again. And just make sure that you know how that's applicable to OET writing. We'll discuss past tense in the next session. And we'll try and do another session on active and passive voice as well, which should be very useful for your OET writing. So Mr. Manoj is quite good with grammar, so we'll cover that. and I'll try and do a session on speaking next week. But again, thanks for joining us. If you're sending us your emails, it would be helpful if you can mail us rather than type in here, because whenever we end this meeting, we tend to lose your email addresses. So if you just email teacheracademy@gmail.com, we should be able to send you this case note. But thanks again, guys, for joining us. Hopefully, you're studying and keeping safe, and good luck.